Greetings and salutations, everybody. This is Stone Petoskey, bringing you another episode of Getting Stoned. How you feeling? I hope you're feeling love. That is the primal and primary emotion. The realization, the actualization, the celebration of all our elation in this fantastic one earth nation. Yes, 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 yes. Love brought this all into being, y'all. I know it may seem crazy to think about it like that, with all the bombs dropping and the guns shooting and the people dying everywhere. So take a moment and just reflect on the fact that your body works, that your heart is beating, that you have people in your life that love you. I know. It's sometimes not easy to remember these beautiful things because there's so much sorrow and suffering that's being perpetuated upon us by ourselves. Quite mysteriously and ironically, we are the cause of our suffering, and yet we seem to be unable to snap the fuck out of it. This illusion and confusion and delusion of separation. You do not exist inside your skin. You are my kin. Perhaps that is the original sin, to believe we are separate, when in fact we are not two. All right. I want to send y'all a big hug right now. It just came up on me, and you know how I am with all this business, with the hugs and the love and the good vibes, because that's just how I roll. So feel that hug. Come on now. Feel it up in you now. I want you to feel it like moving through every cell in your body, because you are a miracle and you are loved. And this hug is wrapping you up in yumminess. I feel it. Do you feel it? Come on. Feel it. Yes. All right. So, as we all know, unless we, off somewhere, off the grid, not listening to any of the noise in the world, and if that's you ain't even hearing this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Good on you. Live your dream. Be yourself. But for all the rest of us here that are connected to the grid, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to stop on by. It means a ton to me. Just even one person is listening and feeling the love and the energy, that's coming from yours truly. So last week we started this book, 33 Myths of the System, written by Mr. Darren Allen. It's a radical guide to the world, and I'm gonna share the first myth for y'all today. We're gonna read that one. I got a couple poems, and and I might even do a song. Yeah, you know how it is. So myth number 1 is the myth of economics. Economics defines the world, the universe, reality itself as a rational market system, and human beings as wealth maximizing things. The purpose of economics is to justify the activity of the system and the behavior of those who own and manage it. This is essentially a religious endeavor. Economics explains everything for all time. Economists either make this claim openly and directly, or they just assume that the entire universe and all life within it operates and will forever operate according to the core assumption of classical economic theory, which is human society is composed of rationally self-interested individuals with unlimited wants competing over scarce resources. I'm just going to read that one more time because it is in italics here. Human society is composed of rationally self-interested individuals with unlimited wants competing over scarce resources. This foundational premise upon which a veritable citadel of academic endeavor has been built is taken to be based on or extend to the entire natural world, and once upon a time even to God. All natural forms are self-interested competitors for limited resources. Genes are microscopic capitalists, and all evidence to the contrary is instantly rendered invisible or unscientific. Thus, a society which is based on prices and money transactions, a market system, is as natural as the human behavior that the economists study within it, a propensity to truck and barter, which has in effect been waiting since the dawn of life itself to unburden itself of the obstacles to behaving in the most natural or most developed way possible. The perfect system we know as capitalism, which logically will endure for all time, or at least as long as human beings behave rationally. This word rational is a key component of economic theory for two reasons. Firstly, because economists, like all capitalists, believe that only the physicalist scientific method can reveal truth. If something is unscientific, it cannot be said to meaningfully exist. Thus, the opposite of rational must be irrational, insane, unreasonable, or ridiculous. The existence or the significance of non-rational truths is ruled out a priori by economists and the scientific establishment they like to believe they are part of. Like to believe, but are not. Economists and science do share something in common. They are both founded on a disregard for the context and a focus on what amounts to illusions. But the illusion of science does partly and demonstrably mirror an aspect of the physical world, which is how it can be used to make accurate and useful predictions about that world. The human world, with which economics claims to be a model, is, however, not reducible to ideas in the same way, nor, even if it were, can it be studied using the same experimental method scientists used on physical phenomena. This is why the theories of economists are illogical and superficial, why economists are unable to make reliable predictions, and why the predictions they do make are always wrong. This doesn't stop capitalists following their advice, though, because in the real world, economics is not the study of the economy, nor of human behavior in it, nor of any of the countless other phenomena that economists presume to explain. Economics, like so much of academia, like law also, and journalism, is ultimately nothing more than a means to justify the acts of the powerful and obscure or confuse any truth which might corrupt their, quote, freedom. Contemporary neoclassical economics, for example, examines exclusively abstract models, empirical facts never appear, which assume that all people have the same measurable tastes, which amounts to assuming there is only one person in society, and that these tastes remain the same under radically different conditions, which amounts to assuming there is only one commodity. The resulting, quote, laws are perfectly meaningless as far as furthering knowledge is concerned, but such an aim is far from the mind of economists and their sponsors. When kings wanted to massacre their enemies or impoverish their people, they consulted priests who were paid to explain to them why God approved of their actions. Now, when politicians and CEOs want to do the same thing, they consult economists or their pseudoscientific colleagues, psychologists, or doctors willing to sell their integrity in order to keep their jobs, who explain why it is good for business to enclose the commons so that self-sufficient peasants are forced to sell their labor, or why it is good for business to introduce starvation to a remote island so its inhabitants are forced to join the market, or why it is good for business to enslave half of Africa in, quote, planned villages or on cotton plantations, or why it is good for business to privatize a country's water supply so that it might be bought up and sold by Nestle, or why it is good for business to exterminate the bothersome population of a resource-rich country, or why it is good for business to generate unspeakable misery for the populations of China, India, and Bangladesh in order to manufacture all the goods sold by Western corporations. Economics magically explain away all this misery and ruin for such immeasurable qualities as ugliness, suffering, servitude, alienation, exploitation, and mounting horror cannot appear in the company accounts or in the minds of economists. They are therefore non-existent. Take, for example, the 2008 financial crash. All of the attention of the so-called left and right was focused on financialization, credit and debt, lack of regulation, speculation, and banking. Fascinating and significant to be sure, but not a syllable mentioned how the colossal economies of the corporate West and its class of hyper-wealthy CEOs, shareholders, and managers actually gained their power to gamble humongous sums in the money markets. Because this pivotal element of the world economy, the outrageously profitable class-based exploitation of land and labor in developing countries, simply does not exist for professional economists and capitalist journalists. Labor, which is to say lived activity, which is to say life, is invisible to economists, for whom all happiness, all, quote, productivity, all, quote, progress, is not the result of living creatures doing things, but of prices, commodities, and economic relationships such as ownership and investment. In short, of capital. It is, says the economist, capital which produces food and fuel, not nature. It is capital which builds tools and uses them, not people. It is capital which is productive and creative, not life. The economist, both capitalist and Marxist, like the priest and the shaman, thus brings an idea of life, teaches the people to worship his invention, and then conceals the outrageous fraudulence of this magical thinking behind complicated language acquired during specialist training. There are two consequences to this. The first is that the source of our wealth, land and labor, or nature and culture, is invisible to economics. Such progresses as if the energy and matter it is dependent upon are invisible as the waste and pollution it, like all unnatural processes, produces. The parasitical nature of the system, the fact that it lives off another organism, the earth, which ails as the system grows, is therefore also invisible, which is why it cannot ever be addressed. The second consequence of the system substituting itself for the land and labor it exploits is that people imagine that their own activity is really the activity of capital or industry or them, which leads them to believe that they are only useful to the world while they are producing capital and serving the capitalist system, which is to say, performing activities which they have no interest in or control over, and paying for goods they themselves have produced with money they received in exchange for their activity. Goods which, finally, they admire as alien objects manifested from the heavens above. All of which, quote, gives new life to capital and annihilates their own lives, unquote. For economists, such things are as, quote, noise is to scientists, background externalities, as unremarkable as the air which, nevertheless, must be sucked out of the vacuum of abstract economic thought. The dreamy economic, quote, reality which results can then be shown to mirror their inept and corrupt pseudo-science, thereby providing economics with a mask of respectable scholarship. Anyone who attempts to reintroduce oxygen into the void is dismissed, or, if their activities prove to be combustible, locked up or killed. And that is myth number one, the myth of economics. So I'm not going to say too much because Darren says it far better than I ever could. So ponder on the wisdom that he speaks of and the myth of economics. Woo! All right, let's keep on trucking. What do you say? This is a poet. Her name is Maura O Connor, and we're gonna read. We're gonna read a couple of poems of hers. So, let's let's rock and roll with this one. It's titled Gravity. Today I am fragile, pale, twitching, insane and full of purpose. I'm thinking of my lover, my soft hips pressing his coarse belly, my tongue on a salmon nipple, his hand buried in my thick orange hair, the telephone ringing. I am thinking we tend our illnesses as if they are our children, fevered, screaming, demanding attention in $20 bills, hours we could have spent making love with the television on. Faith is a series of calculations made by an idiot savant. I'm in love. I'm alone in this city of painted boxes stacked like alphabet blocks spelling nothing. There are things I know. Trees don't sing, birds don't sprout leaves, the sky never turns to wine, roses bloom because that's what roses do, whether we write poems for them or not. I concentrate on small things, ivy threaded through chain link, giveaway kittens huddled in a soggy cardboard box, a fat man blowing harmonica through a beard of rusty wires, brown birds chattering furiously on power lines. I try not to think about lung cancer, AIDS, the chemicals in the rain, things I can't imagine any more than a color I've never seen. My heart is graffiti on the side of a subway train, a shadow on the wall made by a child. Nothing has been fair since my first skinned knee. I believe death must be. I cling to love as if it were an answer. I go on buying eggs and bread, boots and corsets, knowing I'll burn out before the sun. I'm thinking of the days I tried to stay awake while the billboards and TV ads for condoms, microwave brownies, and dietetic jello lulled me to sleep. A brown-eyed girl once told me a secret that should have blown this city into a mass of unconnected atoms. Our sewage is piped to the sea. Beggars in the street are hated for having the nerve to die in public. Charity requires paperwork. Relief requires medication, as if we were the afterthoughts of institutions greater than our rage. Gravity changes to the asphalt with such grace we think it is kind. We all go on buying lottery tickets, Diet Coke, and toothpaste as if the sky over our heads were the roof of a gilded cage. We provide evidence that we were here. Initials cut into cracked vinyl bus seats, into trees growing from squares and concrete. A name left on a stone, an office building, a flower, a disease, a museum, a child. Tonight the stars glitter like rhinestones on black suede glove. In the coffin my room has become, I talk to God about the infrequency of rain, about people who can't see the current of gentleness running under the pale crust of my skin. I tell him under the jackhammer crack, the diesel truck rumble, even the clicking sound traffic lights make, switching from yellow to red, there is a silence swallowing every song, conversation, every whisper made beside graves or in the twisted white sheets of love. I tell him I can't fill it with dark wine, blue pills, a pink candle lit at the altar, the lover touching my hair. God doesn't answer. God doesn't know our names. He's only the architect designing the places we occupy, like high-rise offices or anthills. I know this the way I know sunrise and sunset are caused by the endless turning of the earth. Woo. Damn, that is some nice. Whoa, that's, Maura O Connor. Woo, that was good. All right, let's jump on into another one more here from Ms. O'Connor. This one is called Testimony. These days I cover my face with bottled skin and scented creams, stain my lips the color of rose juice, wear black, my eyes deepen. The man who once called me that girl in the white shirt is my lover. He carried me home in a magician's casket, cut me in two. I came out whole. I'm a kindness to climb into a Dresden doll found in the basement of a burnt house. These days, I buy the book with the ugliest cover, comb the thick orange hair of the innocent child I never was. Well, my heroes are knocked down like piñatas, while we wear surgical gloves to the laying on of hands. I folded suicide in 4, laid it on a bare white shelf. Someday it may gather dust. I might toss it away like an old dish rag. I'm young, green as bread mold. I'm seeking witness. I want the testimony of Hitler, Stalin, the shadows on the bricks of Nagasaki. These days, the newspapers serve a menu of clay pigeons, Bring your own bullets. I want to ban the colors of the television, the perfect thighs, the plastic wishes. I want to put my next breath in my lover's mouth. I want to burn Jesus' leaflets and wear his sandals. I'm taking it all off in the bars of my rib cage. While the politicians find work for each idle child, while 2 terminal patients place bets on the existence of God. These days, I show the years when I didn't want to live in the gray spokes of my iris. I'm coming apart like a 10-cent toy. I carry my head under my arm like a rag doll. I want to sleep in the ruin of last night's makeup. I want ancient recipes over instant rice. I want to find the hummingbird graveyard. I want to fill my mouth with black beetles and walk the edge of Eden. I need a new commandment. I will collect single bars of old songs. I will weep a page of black ink. I will be an unprotected witness. My country serves 3-day notice to the starving. My country's hands are tattooed on the belly of a battered child. My country sleeps in the snow of the television after its anthem is played. Let's burn the country and keep the flag. This night is falling in pieces. This moon is cream on a raisin sky. I will evolve thick skin and filter. I will plan my next breath. I will watch the 4 riders foam their horses into glue. It isn't over yet. I got goosebumps reading her poems. Unbelievable. I didn't know this poet. You know, I got this it's a fantastic book. It's called The Outlaw Bible of American Poetry. It was edited by Alan Kaufman. And so I read from this, you know, and she's damn. I gotta go find out more about Miss O'Connor. Peace and love to you, sister. That's just some incredible work. All right, folks. Take a moment. Take a breath. Take it in. Let it out. Anytime you feel stressed or pain, feel like you don't belong, feel like no one cares about you, feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or caught up in any kind of like self-loathing, just stop and take a breath. Take another one. Take 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Just take as many deep breaths as you need to do before you start to reconnect to the essence that you are, to the truth of your being. So you know that you belong. So you know that you are beautiful. So you know that you are loved. So you know that you are exactly where you are. I love all y'all. Damn straight. All right, so this is I'm gonna do a song original. I haven't done this one in a while, so But you know how it goes. I'm just gonna wing. I'm just gonna do what I do. So this is the title of one of my albums. Song's called "Strange Attractors." Strange attractors, we are so chaotic. Is it real or a magic trick? Blame, shame, disdain, so much noise in the system. Falsify all predictions on the suicidal mission. The soul or the screen, those might be the only choices, y'all. The talking heads or the inner voices might be all it comes down to. So who you gonna listen to? What's true? I know so little these days. How about you? Harmony or the dollar bill? What's gonna be your call? The fabric is torn, grasping at straws as we crawl. Our denial remains our insistence. Lucky for me, I've never been one for fences. Death inside your skin, or a life connected to all. Might that be the lesson? Did you ever ask yourself that question? Or are you one of those who knows? Who likes to shout and tell everybody what it's all about? Mr. Know-it-all, wielding his clout. I'll just be out hanging out on the fringes, y'all. Out here in left field with my baseball glove, ready to share the love. As it is below, so it is above. Naked primate or king of the universe, birth or death, blessing or curse, which is worse? Once again I'm uncertain and just flirting. Could that be ours behind that curtain? Seems the masters have a plan. Get us divided in separation. Can throw through fear and manipulation on that television station. System breakdown is all around. Painted smiles like a clown. All this having is bullshit. Pharmaceuticals come to town. There was a time when what was true was a verb. So many false narratives now in a world gone absurd. A blizzard of misinformation and accusation of veritable confabulation, dystopia or extinction, or L-O-V-E, love. Which is our destination, y'all. Will you stay in the light as the world we know is torn asunder? Or will you celebrate with wonder, loving your sisters and your brothers and the one earth mother? Oh well, never mind. Let's burn one down and share some wine. Strange times, my fellow travelers. So when you're out there on the streets, be sure to be kind. The answer lies in oneness. If we join together, life will be blessed in oneness. We all will be blessed in oneness. In oneness. In oneness. Ooh, damn. Oneness, y'all. That's the bottom line right there. Not two. Flip that up on its head. Not two. We are not two. You feel what I'm saying, y'all? Much love, much love, much love. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate you. I honor you. I respect you. And I most definitely love you. Until next time, this is Stone Batoski saying peace.